So hey guys, welcome back to Woods Tree Farm. I'm Phil. If this is your first time here, we started a Christmas tree farm in Central Virginia in 2018, and we've been sharing videos ever since then of all of our projects here on the farm, which now include mostly firewood, Christmas trees, a little bit of flower work, and just other odds and ends that we do to improve this property. And in doing so, we have to work outside all year long, no matter the weather. And that's probably the first point that I'll bring up. There is a certain element of conditioning and working out in extreme weather. Extreme heat or extreme cold, same thing. You get used to it. It's kind of like if you live somewhere where there are big seasonal changes, that first cool weekend in the fall, the high might be 60 degrees, and you're gonna say, oh, the air feels cool and crisp. And that's because you've been dealing with the summer heat all summer. Same thing in the spring we get around here, that first 60-degree day in the spring, and you're like, oh, it feels so warm. And that is conditioning, because you are conditioned to the cold from the winter, and that first change in weather feels drastically different than what you're accustomed to, and you notice it. So during the summer, if you work inside all day, if you've got an office job, and you expect to go outside and do some work, say to do some yard work or to do some gardening or something like that, you've got to do some conditioning. And I would expect, if you wanted to do a serious amount of outside work, you need to do a serious amount of conditioning. So that might involve going for a walk or a run on your lunch break, or getting out for a walk or a run after work or something like that. But you need to get your body accustomed to being out in the weather. And I do enough outside work now where a 95-degree day, yeah, it's still going to feel brutal mid-afternoon, but I can still do 8, 10, sometimes 12 or more hours outside without too many problems. To follow right up on conditioning, let's talk about your body a little bit more. And you don't have to be an athlete to benefit from this, but your diet certainly plays into the performance that you get out of your body. And if you want to work in extreme weather, you need to take care of your body in order to expect it to perform in extreme weather. So if you eat poorly, if you eat too much, you eat a lot of high-fat foods, high-salt foods, things like that, you should expect to struggle when you try to put your body to the extremes. And when the weather is its worst, and I'll say I'm not a model of health and fitness, but when the weather is its worst, I am most conscious of eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, drinking more water, and of course hydration is going to be a big part of surviving in the heat. But I make an effort to eat right when the summer heat is its worst. Of course, sleep also matters. The days or nights when I don't get enough sleep, I can absolutely tell the next day I can't perform at the same level outside in the summer heat. So to whatever extent you can regulate and manage your sleep and make sure you're getting a healthy amount of sleep, that's only going to help you work outside. So another tip I have is, well, get an early start. The temperatures are lowest first thing in the morning, and if you want to maximize what you're getting done on these brutal days, you should absolutely get an early start. So the sun is just getting over the trees over there. I'm already getting a later start this morning than I wanted to, making this video for you guys, but that's all good. I wanted to share my thoughts and tips and tricks with you, and I'll get to work here shortly. So another obvious one here is hydrate. Everywhere I go, I'm carrying a water bottle with me. It's on the tractor, it's on the mower, it's on the four-wheeler, and I am refilling that water bottle throughout the day. I think yesterday I lost count, but I did at least 7 or 8 bottles throughout the day, and I had at least 2 big glasses of water with lunch, and I'm just drinking all day long. Yesterday it probably wasn't even enough, because by the time I got to bedtime I still felt thirsty, and I had another couple glasses right before I went to bed, which had to get up overnight in the middle of the night as well, but that's what you got to do. And then first thing this morning, with my coffee, with my breakfast, I had another 2 big glasses of water, trying to kind of pre-fill the tank, so to speak, because I know as soon as I get out here I'm going to start sweating. Covering up and getting out of the sun are 2 other themes and 2 other tactics that I use to beat the summer heat. You might notice I almost always wear long sleeve shirts, long pants. And part of that's just because of the type of work that we do. If we're running string trimmers, if we're running chainsaws, if we're splitting wood, you know, I want to keep all the dirt and debris and everything off of me, but I also want to keep the sun's rays off of me. The more of the sun's rays you can keep off of your skin, the cooler you're going to feel. And of course, you know, protecting your skin at the same time from harmful UV rays. But the other thing, the clothes that you always see me wear on the channel are moisture wicking performance fabrics. This particular shirt, I think this one came from Old Navy. You'll find this type of shirt in with their athletic clothing. It's a very lightweight synthetic fabric that wicks moisture from the body. My pants, I would say, are the same. This is a stretch fit work pant that is a synthetic fabric. I'm wearing synthetic socks, even synthetic undergarments that like runners and other athletes would wear. So my entire wardrobe is moisture wicking fabrics, not cotton. So it's stuff that as I sweat, the moisture wicking effect of the fabrics also adds an evaporative cooling effect to the body. So once a shirt like this gets drenched with sweat, or you can drench it with water, you're gonna feel that evaporative cooling effect on your body. And that really does help on a hot day, especially if we can get a little bit of breeze. I've gotten shirts like this off of Amazon as well. Some even have little hoods. They're often marketed as fishing shirts. Those work great as well. And anything you can do to get the sun off of you and to wick the sweat away from your body is going to help you stay cooler. And I'm almost always wearing a hat. So a lot of times I'll just wear a ball cap like this just to keep the sun out of my eyes. But as it gets hotter and hotter during the peak summer, like right now, in the middle of the day, I will wear a hat with a full brim. I have a couple of them, but those that keep the sun off of the side of your face, your neck, your shoulders, are going to help you feel a little bit cooler. And I can absolutely tell a difference when I wear a full brim hat. So as I lay out my plan for a given day, I am usually thinking about what can I do that is less strenuous during the middle of the day. Sometimes that's going in and editing a video, because that's also kind of part of my job. But sometimes that's just sitting on a mower. If there's something less strenuous that I can do from, say, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, when the sun is at its highest angle and that's the highest temperature during the day, that is what I want to do. I want to change my activity so that I'm doing the most rigorous things first thing in the morning or late in the day after the sun gets beyond its peak sun angle. And shade helps a lot. So as I'm laying out the work that I need to do, sometimes I plan work that is in the shade during the heat of the day. Sometimes I set up a shade canopy where I'm working, depending on what I'm doing. And that also helps. The shade canopies, and I also have these big high velocity fans. I can plug those fans in and get some air moving. That really does help on a hot day. So the three biggest things for me, if I was to sum it all up, it's gonna be diet, okay? If you high fat, high salt diets, you're just not gonna do well in the heat. And hydration, you've gotta hydrate and start early. So sometimes when I'm driving out to the farm, I'm drinking a big bottle of water before I even get out here in the morning. Hydration is huge, huge. And you've gotta continue drinking throughout the day. And then lastly is clothing. You're not gonna see me outside working all day in a cotton t-shirt. The performance fabrics do a lot better job at keeping you cool, and the more sun's rays you can keep off your body, the cooler you're gonna feel. So I hope this video is helpful for some of you out there. I know some of this is pretty basic stuff, but condition yourself to the heat, hydrate well. I'm sure you can perform in the heat too. So if you got any other suggestions, leave those in the comments. If you think I missed something, I'm always open to new suggestions, and maybe I forgot something, but I think I covered everything that works for me at least. But you guys have a good one, stay safe, hydrate, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.